What's up, Lock City? Good morning. Happy Thursday. It is episode 33 here of the JuiceBox podcast, and we're going to break down today's MLB slate. But before we get into that, let's go ahead and check on how the April 9th games went. The Cardinals lost to the Pirates 2-1 in the early slate there. That game went 13 innings, walk-off win for the Pirates in the 13th. The Marlins take down the Mets at home. Mets were big favorites there in that one, 5-0 win for the Marlins. The Mets had almost no offense, only 2 hits, and Meagle picks up his first loss in that one. The Yankees bet the Tigers 4-3 in what was probably my favorite game to watch of the day, an old-fashioned pitcher's duel, strikeouts galore. That was a great one to watch. If you can go back, take a look at that one. Fried was absolutely lights out in that one. Flaherty also just had himself a day. They both were coming in close to 10 Ks there. I know that there were some strikeout parlays being sweat in Lock City that came up just one strikeout short for some really big, almost 80-1 cash. That's a shame, but that was a fun one to watch. The Rangers best the Cubs 6-2 there. Shotomaga picking up his first loss of the year. The Padres take down the Athletics 2-1. Okay, maybe it's not an automatic over out there in Sacramento, but that was a day game. We'll have to keep an eye on that. Maybe the ball plays a little bit better in the evening than it does in the day for the Athletics' temporary home field this year. The Giants pick up their 9th win on the year with an 8-6 win over the Reds. The Dodgers pick up their 10th win on the year with a 6-5 win over the Nats, and now they are up there with the Padres with those wins yesterday as the only teams to be at 10 wins so far. I know there were some promos out there for race to 10 wins. Dead heat rules apply, and I believe both teams would pay out at most books there if you had either the Padres or the Dodgers. The Mariners take down the Astros 7-6 yesterday in some late inning heroics. Walk-off win for the Mariners there. Literally, a walk-off win. The White Sox lose to the Guardians 3-2 in that one, and they lose in the White Sox most kind of hilarious way that I've ever seen. They had the winning run coming around third, and he pulls up lame with a hamstring and basically crawls into the out at home plate because he couldn't sprint the rest of the way. The Blue Jays take down the Red Sox 2-1 in Boston. This was an 11th inning win for the Blue Jays. The Angels lose to the Rays 4-5. The Rays picking up their 5th win on the year. Kikuchi picking up his second loss in that one. He's now 0-2 with an ERA of 5 for his new team out on the West Coast. The Phillies beat the Braves 4-3. The Braves just continue to struggle, though their bats are coming alive. They were able to put together 10 hits and 3 runs yesterday. But they are still sitting at just a 2-9 record. The Twins beat the Royals 4-0, and unfortunately that killed our best bet, our juice box lock of the day. Seth Lugo pitched a pretty nice game. He went 5 2/3, only had 2 runs on the board when he exited the game. But unfortunately, Joe Ryan, man, he was really dicing up. His splitter was nasty, and he was getting some amazing whiffs and weak contact off that thing all night. The Royals didn't manage to score a run the entire game. And despite the good showing there by Lugo, our best bet comes up just a little bit short. In the late game, the Brewers really dominated the Rockies 17-2. They had 13 total hits, and they put up an additional 7 runs in the 9th inning to really cap that one off there. And I believe I had jumped right past the game I really don't want to recap. The Orioles get shut out by the D-backs 9-0. Only 4 hits there for the Orioles. Dean Kramer not super sharp, giving up a handful of runs there in the 5th before he exited the game. And then Cino Perez, again, not looking sharp there out of the pen. Brandon Pfaadt picking up a win. He's 2-1 with a .35 ERA. And as an Orioles fan, man, are we just in shambles. Our pitching is not in good shape right now. All right, so that was your Wednesday, April 9th recap. Before we get into today's slate, let me give you a quick reminder about how you can join Lock City. You can join Lock City's premium tier Discord at wap.com/LockCity for just $5 a month. This will get you access to every cheat sheet every day across all active major sports, access to premium picks from all 9 of our pro cappers, and tons of sports-specific and stats-specific data points on a daily basis that'll help you become a better sports bettor. That's wap.com/LockCity. Get instant access for just 16 cents a day. And you can see my channel there called First Pitch Lab. I break down a lot of MLB stuff, but my favorite is betting on the first pitch result of the first inning, top or bottom. And man, are we having fun there. Yesterday we cashed two plus 1,000 first pitch hit or in play spots. We cashed a three-leg plus 700 ball strike parlay, and a two-leg plus 186 strike parlay. It was a hell of a day, and it is a lot of fun. Very quick sweat. You get your money back or you lose it, but that's kind of what makes it fun, and I absolutely love it. So come hang out with me in Lock City, and we'll be happy to help you enjoy some new markets, enjoy some classic markets, and make some money. 16 cents a day. Man, you're going to make that 16 cents a day back almost daily if you come hang out with us. Alrighty, let's go ahead and get into today's slate for Thursday, April 10th, and break down what is actually a kind of small slate today. Only 6 games on the schedule, and most of them are afternoon games. Okay, let's dive in. We have a 1-10 start in Cleveland. The Guardians hosting the White Sox. Guardians are 5-6, 2-0 at home, and minus 245 favorites here. The total here is set at 7, and it looks to be pretty rainy. 98% chance of rain in this one. On the mound, Gavin Williams for the Guardians and Jonathan Cannon for the White Sox. I'll go ahead and give out first pitch. Best bet here. Jonathan Cannon to throw a ball to start the game there for the White Sox. Should be able to find that at some decent plus money. Would play anywhere above 135 on that one. Looking at the lineups and the matchups there, not a whole lot of history for either lineup versus these pitchers, but in the one game that the Guardians have faced Jonathan Cannon, about half their lineup has got a hit against him, so it could be a good matchup there for them. Put some runs up on the board. Tampa Bay hosts the Angels at a 1-10 start. Total here set at 8. Tampa Bay minus 130 favorites. The Angels 7-4 to start the year, and they are 5-3 on the road. At home, the Rays have been 5-3, so this should be a pretty good matchup. On the mound, Zach Littell for the Rays and Jose Soriano for the Angels. Zach Littell on the year so far, 4.15 ERA. Jose Soriano, 3.65 ERA. And we'll see how these two teams match up. Not a whole lot of history here against either team. About one game's worth of results. But again, some favorable matchups here on the Angels side. 6 of their 9 have favorable results versus Zach Littell. And they've been hitting pretty well. If I had to put money on anybody to get a hit, I'd probably go with Jorge Soler in this one. Jorge Soler is 3 for 5 against Zach Littell with a homer, and he's also on a 6-game hit streak, and he put one out yesterday. In Kansas City at 2-10 start, total here is set at 8. The Royals are hosting the Twins. Kansas City minus 125 favorites, and man, were they heartbreakers last night. Couldn't get any runs on the board, so hopefully for their sake they get some up there today. Michael Wacha on the mound for the Royals, and for the Twins, Bailey Ober. Ober had a really rough outing his first time out. His ERA is at 12.15 to start the year. He's looking to bring that down a little bit. Michael Wacha has been out on the mound twice, and he's got a 4.66 to start the year. The history definitely favors the Royals here with some really nice numbers in that matchup history versus Ober. Bobby Witt's 9 for 19. That's 474 with a homer. India 2 for 5. Salvi 2 home runs, 7 for 19. So we'll see what they can do today. Get some numbers up on the board. 3-10 start in Colorado is our next game. The Rockies are hosting the Brewers. The Rockies are slight dogs here in this one, minus 105 on the money line. The Brewers minus 115 road favorites. The total here is set at 10.5. They put a ton of runs up on the board yesterday, so we'll see what happens with that total today. On the mound, we have Quinn Priester for the Brewers, Ryan Feltner for the Rockies. Both pitchers here looking like solid matchups for both of these offenses, and I could see the ball flying around the field, some runs going around the bases in this one. We'll actually come back to this for our JuiceBox lock of the day in just a bit. 4-10 start in Fenway. The Red Sox are hosting the Blue Jays for this series finale. The Red Sox are minus 118 favorites, and the total in this one is 8.5. We have Walker Buehler on the mound for the Red Sox and Chris Bassett going for the Blue Jays. Matchup history definitely favors the Red Sox in this one. Devers 500 hitter, 3 home runs lifetime. Bregman, 385, 1 home run lifetime versus Chris Bassett. That brings us to the evening slate, 7:15 start at Truist Park in Atlanta. The Braves are hosting the Phillies in this one. The Braves -130 favorites. 7.5 is the total in this game. Bryce Harper's on a nice 4-game hit streak. Brian De La Cruz also on a 4-game hit streak in this one. Jesus Luzardo on the mound for the Phillies. Spencer Schwellenbach on the mound for the Braves. Based on matchup histories and streaks, right now I'd be looking at Bryce Harper in this one for a hit, maybe even total bases, or hit run RBI. Trey Turner also projected to have a really good game here. All right, so that brings us to my favorite part of the pod where we give out our JuiceBox lock of the day. And we are headed back to that game in Colorado, Milwaukee Brewers and Colorado Rockies. And I'm doing it a little bit differently today. So get ready to take your notes. We're going to split up our 2 units over 3 different bets here. We are going to take, with 1.5 units, Christian Yelich over 1.5 total bases. That is -105 at a few different books. So that's our core bet. We're also going to dabble a little bit here. We're going to put 0.4 on Brenton Doyle to have 1 RBI plus 170. And we're going to sprinkle an extra little bit there, 0.1 unit on him to have 2+ RBIs plus 650. I think this is a big day for offense here. And both of these guys are in great spots in their lineup to accomplish all 3 of these things. Looking forward to hopefully cashing them all out with you. Let's see what happens this afternoon. All right, this is Trey signing off. Hey, don't forget, check out Lock City. Come hang out with us. Come learn more about First Pitch. Come meet the community. Hey, come hang out. It's a good time. Tell Whitey hey when you get there in the main chat. Alrighty, folks. We'll talk to you later. Have a great Thursday. Wait, I forgot one more thing. I'll give a quick shout out to my buddy Albert. He's been checking in and giving me some shout outs in real life. So thank you for listening, buddy. Hope you're having a great day. All right. This is Trey signing off for good this time. See you guys tomorrow.